Welcome back to the Kieran Carlin Football Channel. Today we're going to be grabbing our coffees or teas because it's lunchtime. You're having the second one and you haven't quite lost your mind yet, but you're well on your way. And we're going to be going through all the European kits from the UEFA Champions League teams this season, apart from the English teams, as they will be reserved for the big, massive video where I'm like, I know everything about the football kits, because I'm that guy. I am that guy. Right, let's have a sip and get going. First up, we have Atletico Madrid. Now, they've often recently done funny things with the stripes. They've gone back to relatively normal stripes. I don't know. It's fine, okay? It's a bog standard one to go back to. It's clean, at least. I would like the stripes to be maybe a little bit thicker. They're a bit too thin for me. Apart from that, colour-wise, it all works. Whalefin.com as a sponsor is horrific. I'm going to give it I'll give it a 7 because it's clean and inoffensive, which is the direct opposite of their fans. It's not all of them, but everyone has a problem everywhere, but Spain seems to have a thing. I don't know what's going on there. Just be glad you're not Italy. Barcelona is the next team up, and I don't know why the Spanish insist on involving a lisp. Barcelona, Ibiza, in their language. But they do, and you know what? I appreciate that because then I can hide in plain sight. This isn't a Barcelona kit. This is a Levante kit. One of them. It just feels, I don't know. On this one, the stripes gone the other way. The stripes are a little bit too thick, boy. And then they don't, go all the way over. It's half and half okay bad. So I'm going to give it a 6.5 because the core thing is that it doesn't offend me. But it doesn't look like a Barcelona kit to me. It does. So I saw someone say it looked like Levante, and it does. And I can't get that out of my head now. Bayern Munich, as they like to be called. I don't know why we call them Bayern Munich, because in reality, it's actually called München, and that's a word that English people could say. So I don't know. I don't understand why we insist on changing words, which we could perfectly... It's like the name of something. Just call it the name. Unless it's incredibly difficult, just call it the name. München. Look, I've just said it. Anyway, I digress. They've gone like white for this one, for their home kit, which is odd. It is odd. I'm sure it's some sort of throwback. But with the full kit, I sort of like it. I think it works. I think it works as a nice little change. It's just an Adidas template. But they all are this season. But I think this is another mid one, another 6.5. Actually, I'm going to give this a 7. I think it's probably a nice change. The T-Mobile logo is actually pretty cool because it's actually symmetrical. Has it been symmetrical for a while? I just remember it not being symmetrical. There being more dots. I'll give this a strong 7. A nice change. Oh, Benfica! Now, I like Benfica. I'm not sure why. I think maybe because of the 3, hopefully decorative stars and an eagle. Also, I just think their kits are cooler. It doesn't feel like this doesn't feel like a Man United red or a Liverpool red. It feels like its own kind of red. And I have no evidence to back that up. None whatsoever. But it's just a feeling I have, and on this channel it is feelings, not facts. It's emotions, not hard-hitting journalism. Very minimal research. It's 5 to 9 in the morning and I've made a slideshow. But this is why we're here. This is proper football commentary. Just saying stuff about things with nothing to back it up. Is there going to be anything exciting here? I'm going to give it a 6.2 because there's been much better Adidas Benfica kits, and I'm still unsure about this template. I'm unsure about the neckline, but apart from that, it's fine. No betting sponsor. I quite like a plane sponsor. What are they called? Like a plane company? What are they called? Why can't I remember the official name for like what company? I don't know. What is going on? I'm going el loco. Yes, I do speak Spanish. Celtic. What the shit is it? Are they like crocodiles or alligators or any sort of reptilian lizard-like animals in Glasgow? Because Oh my god, quite clearly not. This is, what is this? It's like a tie-dye crocodile number with a betting sponsor. The worst betting sponsor of all, because they insist on having that horrid yellow bit. It's huge. The sponsor's massive. Jesus Christ. This is a 2. This is really poor and will not age well. It already hasn't aged well. It looks absolutely atrocious. And this disrespects the giant that is Celtic Football Club. Oh, Dortmund. Now, when I first saw this, they played it in the last game at the end of the season, which I think should be banned. You should not be allowed to do that. It messes up with, you can't watch highlights, and you're like, oh yeah, this is from the previous season, but we wore the, they've already lost and bottled a league title in this kit. You can't go play another whole season in it. You can't do that. That's terrible for keeping records. That really bothers me. More than it should a normal human who cares about random things. I saw this and I was like, this looks like a fan has made this, because this is what a fan would think would be good. Oh, let's put a picture of the stadium on it. No, it never looks good. It looks shocking every single time, as does this. And I'm not being biased because I have absolutely no skin in this game. I have no reason to hate Dortmund. But oh my god, it's gone down. It's gone down even more. It's gone down to a 1. Abhorrent. If you think this looks good, you are the same type of person that would design a kit like this, and you would get battered by me because you are brutally incorrect. Feyenoord. Now this sponsor is a bit odd. Europarks. It's just way too big. Now it's a Castor number. I don't know. I guess this works. I don't think it's amazing though. It feels quite tin pot because of the Castor. It feels quite like, 4th or 5th best manufacturer for the 4th or 5th best league in Europe, for the 4th or 5th best team in the Netherlands, or 3rd. Yeah, it feels very and it's not even like forever the bridesmaid, never the bride. It's like you're not even invited to the wedding. You're a wedding crasher at this point, Feyenoord. Inter Milan. Now for the stripy boys, there seems to be a lot of attempt at doing something interesting and new, and I understand that, and I do try and factor that in. But this one, it takes a little bit of getting used to, but it's not the worst. I do sort of often resent, the digital age. People like pixels, do they? Well, let's put pixels on the t-shirt because everyone uses computers now. It feels a bit wanky. But you know what, I'll tell you what, the Inter badge that they changed to a few seasons ago, I think it's aged quite well. Okay, I think it's come into its own, and I think it is probably the perfect transition between that and the old badge, in my opinion. But you know what ruins this? It's the Paramount sponsor. I think the sponsor just takes you out of it. I think the rest of it, I think you're looking at a solid, I'd give it an 8 for a bit of change, not horrendously brutal. Then next season you go back to normal stripes, and you've got to sort of alternate that every 2 or so seasons. But I think the rest I can get by with. Alright, I reckon that's a fun one to wear down 5-a-side for the next 10 seasons. Without Paramount, I'm going 8. With Paramount, I'm going 6.7. So actually no, 6. Sorry, it's just too big, and it looks a bit silly with a mountain. Lazio, another one with a big badge, but concerning the political links, I think maybe don't put an eagle on it. This is terrible. Now it looks normally like a quite classy affair, but I'll tell you what, everyone is bullshitting when they're like, oh, it looks so much cleaner without sponsor. No, it looks unfinished without a sponsor. It looks empty. You need to have a sponsor. Unless you're doing like a 70s retro throwback where you have the badge in the middle, you need the sponsor, because otherwise it's unfinished. But you need a sponsor that works well. I'm pretty sure Lazio used to have like Banca di Roma, the Bank of Roma on their shirts. That's perfect. That fits in perfectly. That makes the kit. If this had a night tick on it, I'd probably be like, yeah, that's actually pretty decent. I'll give you a 5. I'll give you a 5. But just the amount that little manufacturer symbol downgrades it. I'm sorry to be, elitist about my kit manufacturers, but you've got to get the prestige to be able to get the prestige points, and you don't have the prestige at the moment. Red Bull Leipzig. Now, they really got nothing to abide by, to be honest, because they're a pretty new club. but if I remember correctly, we hate them, bastards. It's a bit odd. They don't have to abide by any like historic kit rules because, well, they're just new. They can just make it up from a standpoint that they want. But I don't know if I would make this one up. I don't think I like the chevrons. I don't know, like, it just feels like, what, the direction of travel is left and right, is it, on your arms? I don't know, it feels a bit unnecessary. I'd like to know what that means, if they've pretended that means anything. I'm going to give this one I'm going to give it a 6.5. Not because I enjoy it, but because it's not bad, and I can imagine your average Joe go down 5-a-side, and it's like, oh, I need a white t-shirt to wear. Let me pick one up. Bargain bin. Next season, 20 quid. People everywhere else, people are just indifferent to RB Leipzig. No one's going to think you support them. And then you pick this one up. So it has that's the value of this one. Oh, no, 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 no. You can tell this is French because it looks like it should be on the Tour de France. What is this? Is this Lens? Lens! Come on! Come on, lads! I know you've got to throw in a couple more sponsors, but you're borderline South American with this kit, and it works over there. I quite like it, but lower league French kit, well, not lower league, you're in the Champions League with that many sponsors. Are you insane? Are you actually insane? I'm all for like, oh, get your money up, G, but come on. I like the sponsor, but even then without the sponsors, what's with the loads of the little lines? And this colour scheme, by the way, this Watford-esque colour scheme is vile. Pick black and yellow or black and red. I've said it multiple times. Don't be picking 3, and they've got all 3 in their badge. So I'm sorry, but you will never get a rating above a 3 for me. This is a 3. Piss off, mate. You've annoyed me. It's another Italian stripy boy, and once again they've messed up with the stripes. Now, this isn't inherently a bad kit, but the problem with it is it feels like a third kit rather than a home kit for AC Milan. It feels like a special edition kit or like an esports AC Milan kit. It doesn't feel like an AC Milan home kit because it's pretty much a red top. It feels like a red top with black accents, not a red and black stripy top, which is just integral to the image of AC Milan for me. So I'm afraid, it would be a fun third kit which would have absolutely no use to wear whatever, but clubs do this all the time. Like Newcastle had like a black away kit once. What's the point in that? When on earth are you going to wear that? I'm going to have to... Oh, but I want to give it... Okay, I'm going to give it 2 ratings. One based on the home kit and one based purely on kit reasons. Home kit, it's a 3. It's a stinker. You can't be having this, and I imagine a lot of AC Milan fans probably don't like what they're seeing right here. A kit on its own, I will give this I'm going to give it an 8. I think that this would be a fun one to wear down 5-a-side. And I think AC Milan have a phenomenal badge and just a great colour scheme. I am biased because City copied their traditional away kit from AC Milan. History. I do know some things. Napoli. Oh. Now, it's a good kit. It's not helping that this one appears to be skin tight. I'm going to try and ignore the skin tightness and hope the fan edition isn't skin tight. Napoli badge, a bit wanky, but I quite like it sitting in the row with the top 3. The sponsor blends in well, don't know what it is, maybe some sort of boat related, water related item. I see a little wiggly line under the M there and a compass. It must be shipping. Maybe like massive shipping canal. That's what I'm sure it is. Your Italy's colours around the trim, that's pretty nice. Nice little effect. Yeah, it's all good. I don't like that it's made by Armani. Armani to me just has a really... One, that's way too big to have as your sponsor, as your kit manufacturer. But Armani to me are just like some sort of chavvy, like sort of crappy brand. I wouldn't even wear boxers with Armani on them. Like, it's a really like... It's not like a top tier like bougie brand. It's like a... Oh, I'm going to spend all my PayPal credit on buying designer stuff. No, mate. No. That really brings it down. I'm going to give this one a 5. It can't... I'm harsh today. I'm pretty harsh. I feel like I've been pretty lenient, actually, today. But this one... No, sorry, son. 5 at best. PSG. Now, this one's getting a lot of love. Okay, it's a throwback to an old one. And they've someone's gone for like a 2000s graphic, and I'm a big fan of what's going on at the moment. The 2000s, a sort of renaissance, the Y2K renaissance. some sort of terrible, you know, graphics. But no, I think it's bad. I really do. I just don't think, I don't like it. I think just any gradient, man, just piss it off. Just don't do it. It's not awful, but I don't think you'd ever see someone wearing this in a year or two and be like, oh, that's cool. I think you see it and be like, is that real? That looks fake. It looks like you could buy it for £5 from Camden Market. So, sorry boys, but this is a free. Ooh, Porto. Okay. Good stripe thickness. You know, pretty solid stripe thickness. Probably the max stripe thickness you could reasonably go to. And then it blends into the sleeves as well. So the stripes keep on going. So I appreciate that. I do. I really do. Oh, hang on a minute. Is this correct? Why is there white? Why is there a white cuff on one sleeve and blue on the other? Surely not. I've got to double check that. Are you kidding me? What on earth have they done there? Oh no! You can't do that. You look like you have 11 captains on the pitch. What? Oh god! And then, you know, you could get away with it if you didn't have Betano with a random yellow as a sponsor with the worst logo ever. Shocking. Get rid of the Betano image logo on the left because you got two B's there, so that's Betano, and you just had Betano text there. Fine, but no. This is a 4. I'm sorry. And you've got to take into consideration the sponsor. I'm sorry. Terrible. Real Madrid. Now, I've seen this one leaked. I don't know about the yellowy gold orange. I don't know if it's working for me. I prefer the blue or the purple. I really like the purple when they have the purple trim. But, inoffensive. I'm going to give it a 7.5. It might be the highest rating of them all, actually. It might be the highest rating of them all. I'll give it a 7.5. It's strong, inoffensive. I think the yellow will probably age all right. And good colour. Good collar and cuffs. And the sponsor blends, once again. Real Sociedad. Okay, a Macron number. Oh, no. No. And not because it's Macron. I get that Macron have wanted... Okay, so the spacing is all wrong. You can't have it. If you got the stripes like that, you wouldn't have the badge and this bit that far over. The badge is way too far over there by the looks of it. I feel like there would usually be a little bit, maybe straddling the lines in between the blue and the white. I don't know. It feels wrong. The collar, honking, absolutely honking. I actually don't like that they've broken space to put the badge on there. I feel like if you continued it there, then you got to continue it there. And then instead of just having a block color, they've just typed in cool, distorted, grainy graphic in Google Images and overlaid that on the top. Just nonsense, rubbish. I'm offended if David Silva is still there and has to wear this. I'm really sorry, my friend. I'm going to give it a 1. You couldn't wear that and pull it off. No one could do it. Not even John Cena. A man of that size could not pull this off. Red Bull Salzburg. A double Red Bull. I prefer the Leipzig one, I think. This graphic in here feels like a graphic for graphics' sake. It's okay. You know, it's okay. It's okay. I like the spacing of all the colour. I like the grey and the white. And then the red is what sticks out. You're not distracted from anything else. You're like, oh, okay. I see it's Nike. I see it's Red Bull. I see it's sponsored by the club, which doesn't make any sense. I think it's just more choice of graphic. It just feels like a bunch of lines for no reason. There's no rhyme or reason. There's just a lot of lines. I'll give it a 7 because it's not inoffensive. And I would wear it. I mean, I wouldn't, but I would wear it. Sevilla up next. And they've gone for Castor, which is bad. The collar looks a bit odd, but maybe not the worst. The pattern. I'm sort of on board with the pattern. Could this be the best Castor number ever? And I think it might be. I think it might be. Now, there might be no sponsor currently or yet. But it's sort of working for me here. Okay, this rare occasion. Okay, I'm not a hypocrite. I just would do things on a term-by-term basis, all right? Individual basis. It's like, you know, I before re except after C. Yeah, that is a rule. But sometimes it's not a rule. And in this case, the rule has been broken. Maybe because the La Liga logo is also in red, which is just perfect. It's a perfect fit. If they get a sponsor for this and it's black or red or gold, So we will wait and see. But for now, I'm giving this the best rating out of all the kits. This is a 8.7. You're welcome, Seville. I find it ridiculous that other places have clubs which aren't places. You know what I mean? There's not actually a place called Sevilla. What? What? How? What do you mean it's called Seville? That's mental. It has to be a place. Why? This I only know geography because of football. You can't be throwing around teams that aren't named after towns and cities. We've got Port Vale and hashtag, and that's it. All right. Everywhere else is named, and it's easy to just remember those two aren't places. Thank you for watching Kieran Cullen FC. Don't forget to join and become a Kieran Cullen FC supporter. We're nearly at 20,000 subscribers. I can smell it. I can taste it. Become one now. Come on, you Gelsenkirchens. Blue and Weiss. Schalke is technically a place, but it's in Gelsenkirchen. I'm pretty sure there's a place on the map that says Schalke.